Heating costs have been going up this winter. That's why I've got the Cold Killer heater. It instantly heats up spaces within seconds. Traditional central heating can take hours before it warms the entire home, but the portable Cold Killer works in even the coldest corners of my home. It's my very own furnace at my fingertips. I can move it virtually anywhere I want, my desktop, countertop, patio, or any other flat surface that needs heat. Plus, there's an adjustable setting so I can control exactly how much heat I want. Order the Cold Killer today and take advantage of up to 50% off. For more information, click on www.thecoldkiller.com in the description box below. Good evening. I'm still reporting on 2021. A couple of months ago, nearly everyone was looking forward to 2021 because they said that the year had to be better than 2020. So far, it hasn't worked out that way. In fact, judging from the first month, 2021 is going to make 2020 look like a walk in the park. On January 5th, the special Senate election was held in Georgia under the same direction as the highly questionable presidential election on November 3, 2020. And in what should not be a surprise, the Democrats won both Senate races, giving the Democrats a 51-50 majority in the Senate, with Vice President Kamala Harris casting the vote to break the tie. On January 6th, the Capitol building was breached by a mob of crazies, which included Trump supporters. It also included a bunch of people who looked and acted like the very same Antifa characters that were so prominent at violent protests all summer. According to the liberal authorities and the mainstream media, these people who were dressed up in brand new Trump outfits were longtime Trump supporters. But it does make you wonder why on January 6th, they all decided to buy new Trump outfits just before storming the Capitol building. One might surmise they were not actual Trump supporters, but the mainstream media tells us they were, and we know the mainstream media wouldn't lie. Later on January 6th, Vice President Mike Pence lost his backbone and decided that the office of Vice President didn't actually have the power that is given to it in the Constitution. Pence, who has always been in the shadows, decided he did not want to step in the angry glare of the spotlight and do what was right. Vice President John Nance Garner, who served under FDR, said the vice presidency wasn't worth a pitcher of warm something or other, and Pence did his best to prove that was true. Given the opportunity and the constitutional authority to actually take an action that would have meaning, Pence chose to scurry away like a roach caught in the light. There was no doubt that the challenges to the election results would fail, but most of the Republicans in the House and Senate decided that ballots coming in by the truckload from unknown sources, not allowing Republican election observers to observe, stopping the vote count in the middle of the night, sending everyone home and then pulling suitcases of ballots out from under a table to count not just once in some cases, or any of the hundreds of affidavits filed by Republican ballot counters and observers, none of it constituted evidence of voter fraud. It raises the question going forward of what exactly is evidence of voter fraud. But our elected representatives saw none of it in any of the highly questionable activities on election night and the days following, and so it's over. And soon government-approved history writers will be casting that in stone. Then on January 13th, exactly 1 week before Trump was to leave office, the U.S. House of Representatives, for the second time, voted to impeach him for the high crime of making a speech to his supporters. Sadly, some Republican representatives, including chair of the House Republican Conference, Liz Cheney, voted in favor of this kangaroo court impeachment. On January 20th, Joe Biden managed to repeat the entire 35-word oath of office without a mistake and became President Joe Biden with the smallest crowd in American history in attendance, carefully surveilled by over 25,000 National Guard persons and behind a steel mesh fence completely surrounding our Capitol building for the first time in American history. Upon entering the Oval Office, Biden immediately took action to destroy the economy that Trump had created, that had proven strong enough to weather the raging pandemic and was poised to come roaring back as soon as the states allowed normal commerce to commence. The vaccine that Trump promised and delivered is supposedly available, but there are huge snafus and bottlenecks at federal, state, and local levels. But even if you are fortunate and patient enough to finally get the vaccine, they say you still have to wear a mask 36 hours a day. Stay 6 feet away from every other living entity, including your potted plants, and don't you dare leave your house unless you run out of toilet paper. Dr. Fauci, who has been raised to the level of the all-knowing, all-powerful authority, has continued to change his mind about the science of the China virus. So far this year, he has issued an edict that 2 masks are better than 1, and then a follow-up that 2 masks are not better than 1. So the people now know for certain that either 2 masks are better than 1 or they are not better than 1. We know that they are both true, but we have to accept that on faith because we don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the great Fauci. This is not quite as bad as in 2020 when Fauci said that masks worn by regular old folks in their daily lives would not affect the spread of the virus. And then he said that everyone should wear a mask all the time. Once again, all we know is that both statements are infallible, and we have to accept their truth on faith alone, and someday the complexity of the seeming ambiguities will finally be revealed to we, the little folk. The China virus has not gone away, and according to some figures, more people are getting sick, but unlike last year when all schools had to be closed for protection of the population, now all schools have to be open for protection of the population. Once again, it requires faith, not reason. And despite the fact that Trump cannot be removed from office by the Senate without 67 votes, the Senate is going to hold a trial and vote on whether or not to remove him from office. There aren't anywhere close to 67 votes to convict Trump, and even the all-powerful U.S. Senate cannot remove a man who is not in office from the office of president. But the farce is going to continue. On the upside, 2022 is less than 11 months away. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of American freedom. Good day. Every doctor on TV says that we all need to boost our immune systems. And STEM Enhance does that in a unique way by increasing blood levels of your own adult stem cells, the backbone of your immune system, by over 30% in just 1 hour. Click on the link in the description box below for details.